Hello everyone, my name is Mark, I'm your driver, and today we're going for a spin in this. This is a 2026 Toyota Prius plug-in hybrid or Prime, depending on who you ask or what brochure you look in. And today we're just going to be doing a quick little first impressions drive. We'll talk a little bit about it, see what some of my first impressions are, because I really haven't spent very much time with the Prius Prime. And quite honestly, off the bat, I'm a little bit confused about who it's for because, well, the regular Toyota hybrid made complete sense in that it was just so good, but it was getting a bit expensive at $41,000, and this thing is coming in at $43,000. So you really have to like or love the Prius, or you really need a use case for a plug-in hybrid. So we're gonna take this for a drive today, see how just the driving experience differs from the regular Prius, if it's smoother, faster, which it should be, and what it's like when it has a bit of a dead battery. Because if you don't charge your plug-in hybrid, what's it gonna look like? Is it gonna do worse than the regular Prius? Is it going to be better? And do you really need to charge it? So yeah, we're gonna take this thing for a quick little drive. I've just reset our fuel economy, and we'll see how this thing can do. Now that we are getting on the road with the Prius Prime PHEV, we're gonna notice that the battery is pretty dead there. So the engine is gonna have to use itself as a generator a fair bit now, as you can see, to keep that battery from over discharging. And it's just kind of flipping in between hybrid and EV mode, because when the battery is dead, from what I've heard, it will only be it'll only be a regular hybrid. You can't activate the EV mode manually. But if I bring the steering wheel down so you guys can see how much distance we have remaining, nothing in the battery pack, but a full tank of fuel is going to get us 801 kilometers, and that is out of a 40-liter fuel tank. While we're just kind of puttering around the city, it has flipped back into EV mode, and we are going to see our fuel economy start to hopefully drop a little bit, because 11.2 liters per 100 is really bad for a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. And honestly, the ride in this thing, because of the smaller 17-inch wheels and the 60-section sidewalls, this thing has a ton of rubber on it. The suspension in the regular Prius was already comfortable, so this is just even more comfortable and smooth. It really does a fantastic job over city pavement. Like, even the 19s weren't a bad ride by any stretch of the imagination. They're really comfortable, but this is just even better. All right, we are getting onto the highway, so I am going to put us into sport mode, because we do have 220 horsepower sent through poor tires that start with a 195 section tires, and it ends in an open differential. So yeah, 220 horsepower is a lot for this car. The engine itself makes 150 horsepower, 139 pound-feet, and the MG2 traction electric motor up front makes 162 horsepower and 152 pound-feet of torque. I may have gotten those numbers slightly wrong, but we're gonna see what they can do for us. This thing's quick. Okay. Whoa. Wow, okay, yeah, no, this thing's... Oh, wow, that's that's really responsive. So you can definitely feel, compared to the regular Prius, that the battery is able to just supply so much more power, even when it's technically dead, to the electric motors. So instead of having torque fill from the electric motors to kind of give you that sort of flash of acceleration, that maybe like 2 to 3 kilometer an hour boost when you first step on it in the regular Prius, this gives you more of like a 5 to 7 kilometer an hour boost, and you can actually feel it trying to fully drive the car. Oh, those tires do not hold on. Nope, they squeal. They squeal, and you can hear preemptively all the clicking behind the dashboard as stability control tries to stop this car from pushing. I'm a little underwhelmed with that handling performance there. Yeah, that's... It's heavier because of the battery. Instead of 1,500 kilos, it's closer to 16 and a bit, 100 kilos. So it's heavier. It's on the same 195 section tires, and it's having to transmit more power through fewer axles because it doesn't have all-wheel drive. So, it's fast, but I don't know, I might have to do some more handling testing later, not in this video, but I still love the Prius steering. I love how quick the turn-in is. I love how small diameter the wheel is, and I just love how quick the steering ratio is. It makes it so much smaller, or makes it feel, rather, so much smaller than it really is. And it makes you feel like you can just kind of hustle and pilot this thing around. It's really cool. Now, getting back up to speed here, engines come on. But I definitely hear a lot less of it than in the regular Prius. Because the battery's more powerful, because the electric motors are more powerful, it doesn't have to use the gas engine for propulsion as much as it does to charge the battery. Interesting. So this is operating, I think, a little bit closer in operation to how Honda's system works, where most of the time the engine isn't directly driving the wheels. In the Honda systems, it almost never directly drives the front wheels. It's just a single-speed clutch that engages. In this, you do still have the whole E-CVT and planetary gear set thing, so it still can drive the wheels, but you can definitely tell at lower speeds that it really chooses not to. In this thing, you can really tell at lower speeds that it really only wants to use the electric motor to drive the car. It really wants to only use the electric power and torque, and you can really, really feel it, which is nice. At higher speed, at highway speeds, it kind of feels like it's giving all that it can with the electric motors, but 150 horsepower and 160 pound-feet of torque at a single-speed reduction gear isn't going to get you a ton of acceleration. So then it does bring in the gas engine. At least that's what it's feeling like to me. But I'll see if under this bridge I can maybe give you a little sound sample and acceleration demo of what this thing looks like. Yeah, so even from a roll there, it just lights up the front tires, which is ridiculous. For a Prius to be able to be moving at like 20 or 30 kilometers an hour and be able to just rip a rolling burnout is stupid. But it's fun. Okay, what's not so fun is that I've been noticing. Driver systems, really good. This seems to have a lot of them, but passively they're just very aggressive. So I get a lot of driver inattention notices, not because I'm not paying attention. I am a really attentive driver. It's because the shape of the steering wheel blocks the face sensor. So if you turn ever, it thinks that you're distracted, which is just ridiculous, to be honest. There's a few other things that I've noticed in here as well while I've been sat at the world's longest light. The door cards compared to the regular Prius XLE are hard. These are hard, scratchy plastic door cards on a car that's $2,000 more expensive. More than that, you've got fabric seats, which, to be quite honest, I don't mind. They're red, they add a splash of color to the interior, and they grip you well if you were gonna do some handling in this thing, but with the tires, I don't know how you could. So you've got these grippy seats, but not so grippy tires. And I mean, I do actually like how these look. They've got like the red stitching, driver inattention detected, yes, yes, yes. You've got, yeah, some scratchy materials there. You've got fabric on the seats, which I honestly don't mind. They're still heated steering wheel. Okay, nice red leather stitching. It's kind of almost like a baseball stitch around the steering wheel, which is very nice. Upper dashboard is still that soft grain leatherette, and you do get a different piece of trim, which is red on the dashboard and down here on the shifter. Driver inattention detected, please look forward. Yes, I assure you, vehicle, I am paying attention. But yeah, this interior, Yeah, the door cards I really don't love. You guys know that I'm a big door card person. The armrests are still padded, and they are still padded here in the soft text material. But yeah, no hashtag wireless charger, just a hashtag side tray and a hashtag hidden compartment in here. And you do get the smaller head unit and infotainment. I don't think that's a huge deal breaker. The deal breaker for me would have been the door cards, but given that this is still soft text material and is still soft and padded on both armrests, I'm potentially willing to let it slide. I just think it's something that should be noted. On this drive, it's actually done a surprisingly good job of keeping this thing in EV mode. I found that occasionally in the first few times I've driven this, that even while you're at stoplights, it will kind of just keep the engine on, but not like the high generator idle that I've seen in like the Corolla, and that this does sometimes. But when it's at lights, the engine just idles like a regular car. If not even smoother. It's really, really refined, even when the engine's on at lights, which was really nice to see. But otherwise though, EV mode is a lot more powerful, it's a lot more instantaneous, and this thing is really powerful. So I don't know, maybe with the fabric sporty seats and the GT Porsche style door cards, maybe this thing is the GR Prius. Maybe it's the sports Prius. But yeah, for $43,000, this interior it's a nice place to be, but I think the materials are just a little bit unacceptable, to be quite honest. I'm really looking forward to spending some more time with this thing, guys. On first impressions, I like it. I like the power. It's ridiculously fast for a Prius, and is returning some really good fuel economy too, even with a dead battery and lugging around a 13.6 kilowatt hour battery. So for $43,000, you are getting cheaper door cards, fabric seats, but if you can live with that, this thing is pretty darn nice, and I look forward to spending much more time in this thing, taking it to a level 2 charging station, seeing what it's like to actually charge up and live with as an EV, and of course doing all the performance testing and spirited driving as well. So yeah, hope you guys will look forward to that. I certainly am, and I'll see you guys in the next one.